Downtown congesting pricing in San Francisco. What up, YouTube? It's your boy Jermaine back on another video. So in downtown San Francisco, there is this whole deal where now they want to charge people to drive into the city, drive into downtown. Now, I know a lot of people straight off the bat, people gonna be like, "Oh, that's messed up. That's messed up." We're gonna talk about the price because the price, if you make less than $100,000 a year, they're not gonna charge you, right? So this won't affect a lot of people. I mean, plenty of folks can still come to the city and won't have to worry about a fee, right? But then let's just let's think about something else. What's really going on here with this? Because in my videos, we like to break down things and we like to connect the dots. And I see something right here a whole lot bigger than just charging people to drive their car into the city. So let's just jump right into this. Now, I don't know if you guys are aware, but if you live in the city, if you ever drive around downtown or if you ever drive around and, like I say, probably in anywhere in the city, you're probably going to notice a lot of autonomous cars that have been driving around the city. Now, I already know you guys are already thinking, oh, yeah, they're getting ready for the autonomous cars. That's what you're thinking. That is exactly what I'm thinking. That's exactly what I'm thinking. Now, I did not say that tomorrow there's going to be autonomous cars picking folks up and dropping folks off, but check this right here out. Let's look at this new downtown congestion pricing, right? Now, let's go back to this congestion pricing here. Now, I said if you make over $100,000 a year, you're going to have to pay. If you make less than $100,000, you don't have to pay, right? So it's $6.50, right? $6.50 to drive into, the congestion area. Not a lot of money, right? It's kind of like paying a toll, right? I guess it is somewhat of a lot of money because if if you live in Oakland and you have to pay the toll to get from Oakland to the city, and then once you get to the city, you have to pay another toll to enter a restaurant. Well, that could be a little bit more, that could definitely add more money to your commute. Also, another thing that's a little weird with this $100,000 price is if you live in the city and you make $100,000, you're basically like, that's like the poverty line. Like, I think the poverty line in San Francisco is like $109,000. So if you make 100 grand, you still like basically like you're not. I mean, at least to San Francisco's standards, if you make $100,000 a year, you're still not doing good. You're still like try sending some kids to a decent private school in San Francisco with $100,000 a year salary. You just can't do it. Paying $3,000 for rent in a box. In the city, and then all the other things, taxes, and all the other things you got to do in the city. Yeah, you just can't do it. So $100,000 is like, it sounds like a lot of money if you're watching this and you live in Alabama. It sounds like a lot of money, but let me tell you, $100,000, man, around here you can spend that pretty fast. So it's gonna be $6.50. Now, I don't really know if they're gonna charge $6.50 if you like drive into this neighborhood and then if you leave out and then you drive back like 2 hours later, are they gonna charge you the same fee? I don't know, but that's not the part that's not the part of the video I'm not really concerned about. The part of the video I'm more concerned about is this part right here. How in the heck are they gonna prove who makes $100,000, right? How are they gonna prove this? How are they going to prove this? Now, I've talked to some people, and one theory could be that you have to sort of like, you have something in your car. I've talked to a couple of people about this, and what I've pretty much heard is they could basically track you using like the fast track. If you don't know what the fast track is, a fast track is something that we use in the Bay Area, and we use it in the car to pay for bridge tolls instead of like, giving your money to the person like in the bridge toll and you have to stop and wait in line. Well, if you have a fast track, you just stick it on your window, and when you drive into the toll, like the fast track like it reads the when you're driving through the toll reads the fast track in the car. And the fast track also, like, there's cameras. It takes photos of your license plates, and then it also has your credit card number on file. So this is how it knows how to charge which car. Now, I would imagine in San Francisco, similar situation would be in place, right? You drive into this neighborhood, they're probably gonna, bing something down on your car. They take photos of your license plates, and then they charge you. They send you a bill in the mail. Okay. Now, once again, how are you going to prove that you make X amount of money? Maybe you would have to, upload your, not license, but maybe you'd have to upload your, I guess a copy of your tax return. You'd have to upload to the fast track people. That way you can prove that you make less than $100,000 a year. I can also see, what if it doesn't go that way? What if it goes another way? What if it goes a more confusing way? I was also hearing this theory of what if it actually worked in a whole method of you would have to like sort of, you'd have to show someone like how much money you make, but then people can fluctuate. Like people's income can fluctuate, especially at the $100,000 mark. Let's say you have a job and you make $80,000 a year, and then last year, well, you didn't get any overtime because we're in lockdown with coronavirus. But then this year, you're getting more overtime. So now you make, 101,000. I don't know. This is just really, it's just tricky. It's weird. It's all over the place. I think this is going to be this is going to be one way to get people off the roads. This is what I really think this is going to be. There's a handful of ways to get cars off the roads. First off, you eliminate parking. The city has already eliminated a lot of parking. The city has added a ton of bike lanes. I'm not making this up. This is not a conspiracy theory, but if you just go to Soma, and so many different streets in Soma, I've even made videos last year in the middle of the pandemic talking about how they're getting rid of all this parking and how they're getting rid of these lanes. So they've already done that. They've already got rid of a lot of parking. They've already added more lanes. They've subtracted lanes, so there's less car lanes. And then now we have this congestion, this congestion pricing, right? Which I think if this starts, it's gonna start like in the downtown neighborhood, and I believe it could possibly expand. I'm not saying that it would expand for the entire city, but if it starts in downtown, I can't see why it won't. Definitely hit Lombard Street. Definitely hit the tourist places. Maybe it costs $6 to go drive in the Presidio. I definitely could see these sort of things happening. Like it's not too far fetched. And then over time with Waymo, because let's get back to the driverless cars, because towards the beginning of this video, I was talking about the driverless cars, right? So let's get back to the driverless cars here. Well, when you have less parking, it makes it more difficult for people to. People know, we drive to San Francisco, it's going to be hard to find the car. People are going to break in the car. They're going to steal things out of the car, right? And then if we do find a parking spot, it's going to be $50 a day to park. So they've already sort of, people are already getting this idea of like, yo, it sucks driving to the city. Like that picture's already been painted. You see the videos online that, people driving to the city and they get their cars broken into. They get everything stolen out. Well, that's happening today. But I can just imagine in the future, it's going to be more neighborhoods where you have to pay to enter those neighborhoods. It's going to be less people driving, less cars on the road, and then there will be more driverless cars on the road. Yeah, that's kind of how I see it, especially when you start to connect the dots. You look at the car break-ins, right? You look at how it's been going on for years, right? we're not gonna say the car break-ins just got bad like just this year, this 2 years ago. Car break-ins have been horrible in this city for years. This is nothing new, right? But what is new is, it's harder to drive in the city. All the no left turns, all the no right on reds, it makes it more difficult. The no right on reds, that's going to create more traffic, because now instead of this car, or instead of these 5 cars making a right turn, now they all have to wait here, right? If you can't see these things being implemented in the city, like I say, I'm not making these things up. I'm just someone who lives in the city. I have a heartbeat. I did not graduate from like Harvard or anything, but like I can just wake up and like notice things. Notice like, hey, they're doing this. Huh? This is a right on red. Oh, it used to be 3 lanes out here, and now it's like 2 lanes and a bus lane, and there's always traffic out here. There's always traffic out here. Before, it was never traffic on this block. Now this block is always gridlock. It wasn't like that last year. It wasn't like that 2 years ago. It wasn't like that 3 years ago, but it's like that now. So I think it's just San Francisco doing its thing. It's San Francisco doing its magic. San Francisco getting ready to pull the new deck of cards out and show everybody its new trick, right? And I think that it's just getting ready for it. Just like I made videos talking about in the past, the shoplifting situation. And I think the shoplifting is getting us ready for more automation and, less people, working in a physical store, and more people ordering things online, and more people, having that online experience versus the go out and shopping experience. I mean, basically what is going on in this city is they want people to get to a point where they don't want to go shopping. Because I'm telling you, just like I see so much shoplifting, so much shoplifting. And for honest people, it's like, I don't even want to freaking come here to see this shit all the time. And it just makes me wonder, like, is that what it is? Are you just trying to make people not want to do these things by what's going on? And eventually people would say, I don't want to go there. I would just rather order it offline. And then the store is closed down. And then, you just get it offline. And then, with the driverless cars rolling around, I am totally not against driverless cars. I want driverless cars. I really, really, really want driverless cars to happen. And I hope it comes in this city fast. But I'm sure it's not going to come fast enough, because it's it's a city, versus a suburb, which would be more easily to, pump out driverless cars. But here, I would love driverless cars. I mean, just think about the accidents, right, that would go down. I mean, think about the amount of, just think about how many people like just get hit by cars, I mean, think about how many people, lose hours and hours just looking for a parking spot. When I first moved to the city, I used to live in the Tenderloin, and oh my gosh, some nights it would take me 30 minutes to find a parking spot. And the reason why it would take me 30 minutes to find a parking spot is because some streets would be like street sweeping at like the next morning at 6 a.m. And I know for sure if I want to sleep in, I can't park there because I have to move my car at 6 a.m. Otherwise, I get like a $70 ticket, right? So it's freaking horrible, right? So I'd have to just keep driving around. I had to keep looking for a spot. And then randomly I would like find a spot that's like not street sweeping the next day. And then also a spot that is, a spot that I have till 9 a.m. before I have to move, right? So I get like 3 additional hours to sleep in, right? But then if I don't move my car at 9, I could be at risk of getting a ticket, So many people live like that. Like, yo, go move the car. Go put some money in the meter. Like, I really, really want for a day that, I can just pull out my phone, a car can pick me up and drive me to LA, and I can sleep in the back. And I can wake up tomorrow morning, 5 a.m., and I'm in LA, and I can have coffee in LA. I can hang out in LA all day. And then when I get done hanging out in LA all day, I can freaking get back in the driverless car and get driven all the way back up to San Francisco, right? I can't wait for that day to happen. I cannot wait for that day to happen. And, maybe you think it's going to be 50 years. Maybe you're a developer and you think it's going to be next year. I don't care when it is. Like, it's just something I really want to happen soon. And anyway, guys, I just want to make a video talking about, this whole congestion pricing and where I think it could be going. Where I think it could be going. I know a lot of people are going to be like, yo, it's unfair. Like, they shouldn't charge, a congestion pricing. But once again, like, if you make 100 bands a year, that's like, what, $8,000 a month, Yeah, it's not that much money in the Bay Area, but like, if you make $8,000 a month, you ain't just necessarily doing bad. You know what I mean? You ain't just, I don't know nobody who make $8,000 a month who is just broke down. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of where I'm going. But anyway, guys, just wanted to make a video just talking about this whole congestion pricing and kind of throw my little two cents in there. And thanks a lot for watching. If you guys like this video, give your homeboy Jermaine a thumbs up. I like to see the feedback, and I'll keep making more videos like this. But anyway, thanks a lot for watching. Peace out, yo.